Welcome, Space Technos, to another episode of SpaceTechnoX with yours truly. And in this episode, we'll be talking about the 4 theories as to how the universe will end. I don't really think I need to be giving too much of an introduction about the universe. I'm pretty sure all of us know what it is. So let's just jump right in. Our first theory of the day is the Big Rip. I mean, the name sounds very scary, and to be honest, the theory is pretty scary. Let's take a battery. Inside of a battery has atoms. We all know that, I'm sure. And these atoms have protons, neutrons, and electrons. Well, in the universe, there's this very mysterious force by the name of dark energy. And let's say, for example, that our battery has dark energy in it. What would happen is that all the atoms, which are bonded by protons, neutrons, and electrons, would literally rip apart. And I'm pretty sure, even if it's a teacher, a parent, whoever, older brother, sister, they probably told you that atoms are the building blocks of life. And this is definitely the case. Because without atoms, we can't have things like the sun. And without the sun, we can't have planets like the Earth. And without Earth, there's no life. And also, without life, there's no us. Pretty scary theory, but definitely could be one of the main reasons as to why the universe will suddenly just die. So our next theory is the Big Freeze. And similar to the Big Rip, it also has to be doing with expansion. But this time, not exactly with dark energy. This is more of a very quiet type of scenario. So, we also know that stars are formed when dead stars explode, or when they give off their layers. For example, in a supernova. Then inside the supernova, over billions of years, there will be new stars which will be forming. And as the universe continues to expand, all this nebula will continue to spread out as well, which will be resulting in fewer stars. Because as the stars continue to separate from each other, there will be less and less of this stardust in order to be making more stars. And like I already mentioned, without stars, there's basically no life. So everything in the universe will just still continue to expand and continue to go far, far, far away from each other. And one day, everything's just going to be gone. It's just going to be silent. The universe will be absolutely quiet, a dark, cold place. Pretty scary theory, isn't it? Anyway, our next theory is the Big Crunch. So in the Big Rip and also in the Big Freeze, we have been talking about how the universe expands. But in this theory, the Big Crunch, the universe will shrink. So let me explain. So according to the theory as to how the universe began, it started with a single point, the Big Bang. There was a huge explosion and the universe started to grow. Well, in this theory, the universe will eventually stop growing and start collapsing in back on itself. And when that will happen, that could cause some sort of black hole type of thing. We aren't exactly so sure as to what's going to be happening, but maybe it could be reaching such a dense state that maybe no life could exist, which could basically just end everything. And so in our last but not least theory is the Big Slurp. You might be like, okay, is this some sort of alien abduction or something like that? No, not at all. This theory is actually a little bit more scarier than the rest, I think, in my opinion. So this is about a particle by the name of Higgs boson, and I think we've also heard about this as well. But so let's say if the Higgs boson particle were to be hitting a certain mass. So we also know that the universe is a vacuum. There's no air in the universe. And if this particle, the Higgs boson, reaches a certain mass, then that could indicate that our universe's vacuum is unstable, which could mean that some sort of bubble will start to pop up, and that bubble will be some sort of alternate universe. It's pretty mind-boggling when you're thinking about it for the first time. But basically, the two universes will just clash, and everything will just go flying, which is not a very good. Let's say it's not a very good breeding ground for life and stars. So this basically wraps up our episode for today. And if you did enjoy this, then please subscribe and also to leave a like as well. Thank you.